Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown. I'm back with another episode of The Crown, Season 6, Episode 7. And this one is called Alma Mater, which we know is dealing with your previous school. So I'm assuming we're moving a little further on after the previous school system. And when I was doing my sound checks, it sounded kind of Christmassy, so maybe we'll get some sort of Christmas episode. So for the show, I am reading the description. It says, now at university, William sets his eyes on Kate Middleton. With meddling parents and other prospects in the mix, how will their connection bloom? So we're already going to start seeing a little bit of their relationship. I've also noticed that when I do my sex education videos, they seem to be getting a lot of echo, and I think it's because I had it set so that sound was coming from my monitor. These were picking up everything, so I have it set so that the sound is actually coming from here. Now come Christmas, I'm getting a new microphone, so I'm hoping that will clear up some of the sound problems I'm having. Let's get started.
15, not 15.
You're 15, not 50.
Can't have a Christmas party.
So it is Christmas.
Show off your figure.
1996, is that what it said?
Look.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I did see some things about she had met her at some point, or there was some speculation about her meeting Princess Diana. So I guess I'll have to look into that a little further and see what that speculation was about, if there really was some issue whether it actually happened or not, and how it happened or whatever.
Someone obviously made an impression.
He seems kind. Has a nice face.
You never know.
Mummy, he's a royal prince.
When I first met your father, he was way out of my reach. I realised that maybe it was the other way. He'd been lucky to have me. Never underestimate yourself.
And here it is, the introduction to The Crown, Season 6. Remember, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done it already, you can click the subscribe. And if you would like more notifications later, you can click the little bell and click all. And here it comes, The Crown. 3 years later, so 1999, or 2000 since it was the end of the year.
What will you miss most?
Me.
Along with the other students, those who might be anti-monarchists.
You'll have their heads cut off.
It's like, would you stop?
Place your exam script on the left hand.
Immensely proud.
What rot. Only straight A's will do.
And B in history of art.
Bravo.
Be in what? Oh, somebody shoot her.
Does she have a hearing aid? Because it definitely seems like she needs one.
You'll all be thanking me later.
Doggy. Sweetie.
Going to be St Andrews. St Andrews is close to Balmoral. Going to be taking a gap year. Then Belize, Chile, then Botswana, then Kenya, and then after that, St Andrews.
That's a lot. So Scotland.
Medieval and Renaissance art.
Hi, lovely to meet you. Okay. I do really need to get to... Have a nice day, okay?
That's a lot.
Exactly. Giotto was one of the first artists to create...
Your Royal Highness.
Oh, please don't call me that.
Sorry.
Please don't call me that. It's like you want to be nice, but then you don't want to give them too much encouragement because that's just going to encourage other people.
What I wouldn't give.
Yeah.
Intoxicating.
University is just sex with books.
No.
Sire some illegitimate bastard.
Oh, no.
Repressed.
Repressed. Now that obviously was not my experience in college, but I went through college much later. I was already in a full-blown relationship. No, I didn't do the partying and stuff like that. When I did my AA and bachelor's, it was basically go to class, come home, and I did nothing else with school at all. But once I went through my master's degree, I made sure to be involved in some of the other stuff. I got an internship. I did a GTA assistantship position. I went to some of the club meetings and things like that. I'm a member of a sorority, but I wasn't doing anything with it. And it wasn't anything where you have an initiation. You do have to jump through some hoops to get in, but it's nothing like what you see on TV or anything like that. And I tried to be a little more involved with my cohort and actually go and do things. Plus, I did presentations at a couple conferences. I really like going to the conferences, so that was fun. And I was going with my cohort, so that was also pretty cool. All right, then let's get back to the show. That probably would have been me cussing people out, especially if I was going out with somebody who felt that that stuff was very uncomfortable and didn't like it.
Airedale, Cavendish, Kincaid. From a family so posh they had to name it thrice.
Ho, ho, ho.
Only genuine blue bloods need apply.
So he seems interested. She may not think she has a chance because the whole not being pure blood or whatever. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have thought that Kate Middleton would have been able to be part of the royal family, but I don't know exactly how that works, and I don't know how those things have changed since the beginning of The Crown, you know, how they present on the show where all these marriages are getting denied because they don't fit some ideal. At least it seems like the crowds of people hounding him has calmed down.
Miss Middleton beat you to it.
Miss Middleton. Well, it's like, she's right there. Just go talk to her. You've been talking to other people, even with the crowds. You can do this.
Actually, I'm done with it now. I promised it to someone else first.
You're welcome to the notes I made. Text me, let me know. Or cut a hole in your ceiling and give it back.
Or
I'm in
do
the room
what?
directly above you.
Oh.
Sweep us for bugs. I told them if they were worried I was out to get you, I could have just done that in Chile.
Did you do that too? I bet you excelled.
There are people with high expectations of me, but I'm sure I don't have to tell you what that feels like.
Oh, the girlfriend.
Hi.
She looks very expecting. High maintenance, jealous.
Done a bit of acting.
You're speaking for me now. This is Lola, my ventriloquist puppet.
We were just discussing an expedition.
You're speaking for her now too. After telling me you were interested in cinema and politics.
Outdoorsy cinema and politics go together.
So like flirting as soon as my back is turned.
Yep.
I'm sorry, would you mind
Yes, as that happens, I would.
Wow, that was weirdly rageaholic.
I'd say that's rude. Get that all the time. You have no idea what it's like to live with that kind of attention.
Don't we? Try being a girl.
A fit girl.
No, try being any girl. Failing that, you could at least try to be a human being while not reducing every woman to whether she's fit.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so I was definitely getting kind of both vibes, the jealousy vibe, but also the you're being kind of patronizing, speaking for both of us. But yeah, towards the end, you get that. It looks like she's like not having any of what he's handing down and she's getting jealous. But then also there's that whole like patriarchal thing. And because he's been raised a certain way, he has these expectations that I think a lot of us think are ridiculous and we're tired of. And then you have the whole fit comment, and that is just like, ugh. And then just assuming that we don't get this negative attention when I don't know about everybody else. I am not by any means like a fit, attractive female, but I've gotten all kinds of nasty attention based on sexual ideas. And it's freaking aggravating as hell. The cat calls and all of that, it happens to pretty girls and ugly girls, whether people want to believe it or not. The assaults that we have to fend off, the assaults that a lot of us end up going through, it's freaking awful. I definitely get where they're coming from on that. but I also was picking up on those jealousy vibes. Yep. He did not come across well with that one. Blew up on that girl right in front of everybody.
Some real friends. And what are we, chopped liver?
First year rite of passage.
Raisin weekend.
Outdoor shaving cream fight.
Peasants, you know, whatever you do up there. You made a real ass of yourself with her.
Change the subject.
How many times have we all made dumbasses of ourselves in the whole relationship department? Playing with his broken arrow. Now, I did do plenty of drinking and parties and stuff when I was in the military, but by the time I got into college, I think I had kind of partied myself out. It wasn't something that I wanted to engage in regularly. I definitely drank sometimes afterwards and partied sometimes, but it was not very often.
Jed, come on.
I have to go.
What a weird celebration. Shaving cream clown suits and connections, I guess.
Like, I speak. Really?
Ha ha ha!
Wanted to apologise. It was an awkward situation.
I hope you patch things up with Lola.
God, no. No, that was dead the minute she found out I was outdoorsy.
Shall we?
That's gotta make him feel a little awkward.
I used to enjoy history of art at school, but now I struggle to see the point in it.
I liked history and art. We covered the same kind of stuff in humanities, and I did not like the way it was done in humanities. Of course, very different teachers.
Important thing. Chocolates.
The chocolates are definitely important. Ooh, I like the dress. Scallops on the top and the pretty shiny sparkles and flowers. Nice.
If what Harry said is true, dissatisfaction has more to do with affairs of the heart. Don't want to hear anything about other fish in the sea.
Everything's so Christmassy. It's just kind of interesting because it's like 3 days from Christmas right now while I'm watching this, and the episode has all this Christmassiness. So, all the Christmassiness is just so cool.
Rupert, nice to meet you.
Idiocy?
Thank you. James is going to be our last season. He had a very good season.
Really?
Is mommy showing expectations of her that maybe she's not hyping to get into?
Harry? Stay here. What's the problem? I'm your father's.
Sure this suits you.
Now, I've definitely heard there were lots of issues with Harry, but haven't heard near so much about William.
What's not to like? Light, not handsome.
You were giving her those eyes the whole time.
Why does everyone keep asking me that?
Testy, testy.
You've always loved the idea of me and William together. Then you suggested I change it to St. Andrews. That was no coincidence.
No, it wasn't.
What about what I want?
Just don't want you to be seeing Finchy because you're making a point to me.
Crown loves to do the meddling parents thing. I don't know how true any of it is, but it's like one relationship after another of meddling parents, and this is just another one.
Stop muscling in on my territory. I know my job to be the fuck up in this family, don't you start to? And people say, poor boy ever since his mother died. I can't be normal or a success, can I? I'd make a mockery of the whole show. So it's Willie Gold Star, Harry Black Sheep, Willie Solid, Harry Lost. Can you imagine how people would freak out if you were the one who was going to a treatment center? It'd be like the temple was falling down.
Is that a Nokia? I think I remember Nokias looking like that. Nokia! I was right! Is mommy's meddling working? Alright, so that was episode 7. Quite an interesting look at like multiple perspectives of university life, of dating, of the two boys, the inheritor of the throne, the other, the second in line who knows he's probably never going to get that chance, who's also considered a fuck up, and whose brother is like the golden boy. And we get to see a little bit of progression in their life from that high school to university level. right after their mother died to a few years later, so that they've had some time to deal with that grief and mature a little bit. And we get to see a little bit of how those relationships are going with the two boys and their father, who isn't always the best father. But then again, like he said in the previous episode, he hasn't had the best model. All those fathers in that family, as they have been portrayed in The Crown, have really had some major flaws in their fathering. But like I said in the last episode, that can change with you. If you are willing to do the work and you are willing to break those cycles and break those chains. It's not always easy, and not all of it works. And as hard as you try, kids are still probably going to be freaking aggravated with you and hate you sometimes and all of that. But it's better than leaving those cycles going. Sometimes you need to break the chains. All right. I will see you next week. Bye.
Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.